So important, Dr. Hillary, to talk about hydration in the summertime because we all want our skin to age well and gracefully. And hydration is just the basis of it. And so there's real tips and tricks for this, is what we're talking about today. Have you been hydrating well, Hillary?
No. This morning I drank caffeine and I didn't drink water, and I'm in a really funny location. It's always like Dr. Hillary on location I'm in a really weird bunk room at a house in Stinson Beach. Stinson Beach is a beach that's 45 minutes from my house, but it's a world away, and my friend and I rent a house every year, and the kids were here. So because I'm at the beach and I'm not drinking my normal water, this is like when you fall out of your routine.
Mm-hmm.
It's for me, hydration just goes. Like yesterday, I looked around and I was like, wait, did I actually drink any water? I know I had a little champagne and I had an Aperol spritz, but did I drink water? And also, I think because the water, we didn't have great water, so then I chose to drink less. And I think that happens a lot to people when they summer travel. So let's talk about why we need to hydrate, and then let's talk about ideas when you're traveling, how to stay well hydrated.
Well, you touched on the first point, which is the condition of your skin largely depends on the individual's overall health, right? So that's the basis of this. We often run people through detox programs, and one of the first things they say is, everyone's saying I look 10 years younger. And we do many things in a detox that promotes people's skin looking really good. And it's just really interesting to see how it can change quickly. The first thing we always do on a detox program is hydrate people. And just hydrating gives you so much of a benefit for your skin. So your skin just plumps right up. And it's one of the real things. It's like the basis for overall condition of your skin is hydration, the texture, the color, the vibrancy. A lot of that is simple hydration, and we just overlook it. Like you said, if you're driving and you're trying to pack children up in a car, you're not thinking about the water bottles are packed, we're just not focused on it enough. And if we do, we're gonna have better skin aging.
So, a good baseline to think about for just drinking in a regular day
Mm-hmm.
is half your body weight in ounces.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I mean, it does differ. And then there's this really, if you've watched us, you've probably gotten the memo before that like Kara's body energetics she needs more hydration than I do, or my perception of hydration. So I'm not sure exactly, but I tend to drink less than Kara. So there's this sense of there's this baseline, and then you add more water to your baseline, half your body weight in ounces. If you have an alcoholic drink, if you have a caffeinated drink, if you have a big workout where you lose a lot of sweat. So all those things, and you need to add extra hydration for, or if it's a summer months and it's just way hotter and you're sweating or your body temperature's up, right? I think airplanes also require an extra amounts of hydration
Mm-hmm.
because of, I'm not sure why, if that's the radiation, if it's the dryness, if it's the air processing, but like most people need to kind of hydrate extra and recover from airplane travel.
What should your urine look like if you're well hydrated?
Your
What are we
urine,
going for?
your urine should be straw colored. And
Mm-hmm.
straw colored is it's a great tool to talk to your kids, like ask them how your urine shouldn't smell. It shouldn't it will smell obviously if you ate asparagus, but it shouldn't smell like, it shouldn't be dark, it shouldn't burn and it shouldn't have a smell. So if it does, you're just underhydrated and you need water. Kara, I have patients who complain that they feel like they drink water all the time and they're drinking, but they can't like get hydrated. Like they don't
That's a
feel
real
the
thing.
water touch. So tell us, our listeners, about that.
Yeah, and your wall actually at this odd location is perfect for this because it's sort of the color, like a little bit of straw behind you there. The other way. That color. I don't know, the way it's coming through on my screen, it's like not yellow, not clear. There's a little bit of a tint to it. That's kind of a good hydration state. A lot of people think they have to go to totally clear, and there is such a thing as overhydrating, right? If you drink too much water, your blood vessels and your interstitial space, like the balance there gets a little bit off, and you're diluting too much of your electrolytes, etc. But people often say this. They say, "I need water a lot. I absolutely feel like I'm not hydrated all the time." So I think that's about electrolytes, and I think it's about, like you said, it's probably some genetic differences in human beings and our habits as we eat, et cetera. These all play in. How much oil and good quality oils do I have in my body? What about my protein status? What's holding the fluid in my blood vessels? Because a lot of this is simply about circulation and blood supply. So if you're slightly dehydrated, which we would make the argument, many of you listening are suboptimally hydrated right this second. You're not thirsty yet. Thirst comes later. That's the problem. If you actually get thirsty, we are way beyond the point where you're starting to dehydrate your tissues. And of course, your body's going to not want to give your face a lot of good moisture. Who cares about that? It wants to pull that fluid into the blood vessels so it can pump blood and get oxygen supply to areas of your body. It'll also pull fluid out of the discs in between your spine, in between your vertebrae, like not in between your spine, in between your vertebrae, there's those discs and they're like sponges, right? So if your blood volume's actually going down a little bit, like you don't have enough fluid in there, your body's going to pull from wherever it can, and your skin's going to be one of those areas. So I think that's a really big thing. Then you have inadequate oxygen supply and nutrients to your skin, which is going to contribute to aging. You need your antioxidants to get to your skin to repair from just, damage from air quality and sun, etc. So if you're a person who thinks, oh, I'm thirsty all the time, I would check two things. One is, are you a person who sort of chronically overhydrates? Because I've seen these people, literally had a person present to the ER feeling dizzy and lightheaded and all these things happening to this person with a water bottle. Turns out that person had over diluted all of their electrolytes and they were having symptoms from that. So there is this thing that if you overhydrate, then you're just in a habit of drinking constantly, drinking constantly, drinking constantly. Now, I'm not one of those people, yet I am drinking constantly, but that's because I have a genetic predisposition where I need a lot of fluid in my body, a lot of electrolytes. I need a lot of vitamin C. I need a lot of these extra things to run and have the energy I need. And it also kind of goes with a little bit of I have extra laxity in my limbs. It's sort of this bigger genetic picture for people. So I think that if you're thinking you're thirsty and you're like want to drink all the time, checking those things out, like, am I overhydrated? Is my urine just completely clear? And if you're on our prenatal vitamins, for instance, probably a lot of people listening take our prenatals. Your urine should not be clear. It shouldn't be the straw color behind Hillary. It actually is going to be more yellowish, more bright colored because the B vitamins are so high in there, because we need that for pregnancy and especially early pregnancy. So checking your hydration status may require you to go off your protein shake that has extra vitamins in it and your multivitamin, and just not take the extra B vitamins and all the things that can change urine, because all the extra nutrients will go out in the urine and you might see it as a color change. So it might require you to go off those things for 2 days and just see, hey, what does it look like here? Do I think I'm drinking enough fluids?
And
And
usually by the afternoon, the B vitamin has run its course. So like if you take a
right.
B vitamin in the morning or drink a protein shake in the morning, that's got like our protein powder has a
Mhm.
good amount of riboflavin. Cultivate Fertilities or Cultivate Foundations protein powder has a lot of riboflavin and
Mhm.
creates quite a yellow urine. But usually by the afternoon that runs out. So looking in the evening matters. I think that, I'm gonna say, like, on TikTok and a lot of the kids are hyperhydrating, so some
Yeah.
of the teenagers are drinking they get these big things, and they're drinking all the time because 'cause they've heard that it's good to drink a gallon or 2 gallons of water,
No.
and so that's something to watch with your teenagers if they get
Mhm.
really obsessed with drinking water, and usually it's not a long-lasting habit, but, like, they can get into a bit of trouble once they start a habit brand new and they, like, quadruple the amount or that they drink normally. But Kara and I, when you look at symptoms of subclinical dehydration, or before you're actually like fully dehydrated, but your body
Mhm.
doesn't have enough water. So
Mhm.
this is the kind of zone where people aren't necessarily thirsty, but it's like the symptoms go from mild headaches, vision changes, dry throat, dry lips, joint pain, fatigue, depression or depressed mood. It can create anxiety. Like it's a very long list of very common complaints of why people
Mhm.
sleep issues, of why people come to the doctor, right? And so it's like, huh. Okay, so if we can just like work on the basics, and this is one of the things that doesn't happen in doctors' offices often, myself included, where I'm like, already managing, oh my gosh, okay, you have chronic migraines and da 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 da, and I'm going down the list, and you saw a neurologist and you did this and you did that, okay, da, da. And sometimes we just forget the basics, like tell me exactly how much you're drinking in general, tell me, so it's one of those things that just gets missed, but the hydration piece is so important.
And
um
there's a lot of patients that I'm working with, and I just want to tell them, hydrate and come back next week, or give me an email next week. I want to hear what happens. But you feel like I'm just like a goofball doctor at that point by telling you to just drink water, like it's not adequate medicine. I'm supposed to give you some fancy medication, right? No, it's so unbelievable how many people will just be better if they drink water. And I think the number one thing I think is fatigue. Fatigue is just so shifted by proper hydration. And I see it right away. And so if you're doing an airplane beach trip this summer, absolutely so important to think about hydration and to take into account how much water is leaving your body by just being in the heat. I wish I had like an x-ray for this where people could see, oh, look at all the water leaving my body, how it's evaporating off, because we don't think about it, but it really is happening. And the other thing I think that would really help to keep hydration in your skin is getting on a really good skincare routine where after your bath or your shower, you actually hydrate your skin with a really good lotion, a really good oil, something to help hold in that water so it doesn't just evaporate out. So I think that's a thing we don't schedule enough for ourselves, and that can make a huge difference in keeping hydration in.
and my favorite combo is half oil, half lotion
Mhm.
for moisture trapping, keeping the water in. So if you have dry skin, itchy skin, and that's like a lot of patients in the summer will get these sort of more heat rashes. That's they Everything will be made better if you're hydrated. And hydration is one of those things that you just try to keep a baseline. But if you know you're traveling one day, so then the 2 days before are really good to just pay incredible attention. Like, and sometimes people need to set their alarm once a day or every hour that they're supposed to drink. Like, sometimes
Mhm.
you need tools. Many people have these big, I would hope, stainless steel with glass straws or stainless
Yeah, I
steel
have one
straws,
here.
not hard plastics. Um,
Mhm.
I know that sometimes some of the like teenagers love collecting these big cups and they've got straws and just want to make sure they don't get moldy and stuff. So gross. But hydrating for the days before you travel is
Yeah.
really, really important. If you're going in and it's so great now in many of the like big city airports, you can bring your own water bottle. You make sure it's empty when you go through security, and then you can fill it up. So I watch people bring several water bottles now and fill them up, so that they're not relying on the airplane. If you're on a 6-hour flight, at this point, they're really only giving you like 2 cups of water unless you order. It's just not enough. You have to bring your own water. So
Mhm.
try to bring your own reusable bottles on airplanes. In most airports, you'll have luck filling. Do they have that in West Hartford at the airport where you can fill in your water bottle?
I think during COVID, people didn't love those things, so I don't know. Sometimes I see them that it's come back in some places, but I'm not exactly sure. Um,
San
I'm not sure.
Francisco's
But
definitely up and running. Most
but
big airports, yeah.
right. So just yeah, I always just go through security and I get myself 2 drinks after that for on the airplane. And while I'm on the airplane, I just drink those. Because actually, I'd rather not drink the water on the airplane because it's not individual. It's sort of there's been some reports that we don't love the quality of the water on the airplane. That it's not like glass bottled water that's an individual bottle. So anyway, those are some tips for skin, and it really does make a difference. And it's amazing how your friends and your family will comment if you're well hydrated on your skin.
You look well hydrated today.
That's interesting because I went to the beach yesterday and I had these big metal water bottles and I filled them with ice and then water, and then every member of my family has them. I get someone else to carry this bag, it's quite heavy, onto the beach. But it was really interesting because one of my children, when we were leaving the beach, was like, okay, where's the water or whatever, and just was so happy that it was there. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, okay, you thought of this. Thank you so much. That's just what I needed. I feel like I'm almost getting a little lightheaded because it was really hot yesterday. So we were hydrating, but it still was not quite enough. So we needed to really have those bottles for the way home. It's great.
Look at you, super prepared.
Yeah. Organized.
And just stop buying plastic water bottles. That's the other thing. Just stop. Just please stop. There's no reason. How about
I had a side note on that, just to tell you really fast. So we did stop for gas and I asked I said, can you grab me an iced tea? Because I thought I wanted a little caffeine. And usually gas stations even will have like an unsweetened iced tea thing or whatever, but they had nothing. And so anyway, so they got me this drink. I was on the car. They got me this drink. I could not drink it at all. It was so sweet and disgusting. I just want to tell you, why do they have I'm like, well, what if people what if we all don't want all this sugar in our drinks? What is there to drink? And it's like, okay, you could get the plastic bottle of water, but I already had water in the car. So it's just disturbing how I think we don't have enough market demand for unsweetened beverages that aren't sweetened with those horrible artificial sweeteners we went through in the last series. So anyway, too bad.
All right, everybody. You guys, we did create a hydration guide. So if you're interested and you want to know more or just have a lot of this information in a cute PDF, then you can click below. Whatever. Click wherever.
Wherever.
See you guys in a few days. Bye.